My name is Daniel Miller. I am a musician, and I'm going to tell you about one of my best experiences playing in a band called Emrys. Now, Emrys was the brainchild of my friend Garrett. I met Garrett in church camp back in 6th or 7th grade, not entirely sure when. But we had a lot of common interests. We both loved music. We were both just starting to play our instruments, so we became very fast friends. Now, it wasn't until after high school that we started playing together. We took a lot of time learning our music, learning to play our instruments. We weren't exactly ready to start a band until we'd already graduated. Once graduation time rolled around, however, Garrett thought it was a good time to start, so we wanted to get serious. He decided to call the band Emrys after a book that he wrote back in the early days of his high school career. I'm not entirely sure the significance of the name, but he thought it was significant enough to call the band after it. So, like I mentioned before, we were both musicians. I was a bass player, still am, and Garrett was a guitar player. Now, if we wanted to start some kind of hipster folk duo, that would have been fine. But as it was, we needed more musicians. So there's these couple brothers that went to our church named Josh and John. Now, Josh was a drummer. He was still in high school. He was a younger guy. And John was a guitarist. He had just graduated high school. So the four of us got together in the Summerford's garage. Those are the two brothers. And we started practicing. We started writing songs. Some of them we scrapped because we didn't like them. Some of them we decided we should keep and play in our shows. Sometimes we just jammed. We didn't really care what we played. We just wanted to play covers or 20-minute jazz, improvisation. Why the hell not? It was really good fun. And we were all excited about starting to play concerts, in front of people. However, the first show that we got was at the Whiskey A Go-Go. The shirt I'm wearing is from that concert. Now, the Whiskey A Go-Go, for those of you that are interested in music and music culture in Los Angeles, this guy right here, Whiskey A Go-Go was founded in 1958 on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood. Now, the Sunset Strip is relatively famous for its music venues, like the Roxy, Snake Pit, Velvet Room, all that kind of thing. Whiskey was one of the more famous clubs. Like I said, started in the 1950s. It wasn't until the 60s when it really took off, though. Bands like The Doors with Jim Morrison, I'm sure most of you have heard of The Doors, Guns N' Roses in the 80s, even Kiss, if you can imagine that. They've all played there. So this is a relatively well-known place. Nowadays, not so big. You get local talent, pay to play shows, kind of like ours. Still, though, historic significance for a music fan like myself. We were all excited about it. We all love The Doors. We all love Guns N' Roses. We are all looking forward to sharing the same stage, even if only in spirit. So, after a few weeks of waiting, the day finally came. Nerves racked, we drove to the club, got there a couple hours early, set up our gear on stage, and waited. The waiting was excruciating. Every second felt like a hammer hitting us in the side of the head or something. It was brutal. The first band came on. We were the second in the lineup. The first band was some kind of ska, reggae type three-piece band. They were okay. But we didn't really pay attention to them. We were all just sitting there like, oh God, what are we going to do? This is crazy. We're going to play in front of a couple hundred random people we've never even met before. We'd only ever played in front of our friends or, the occasional worship set for our church. It was a completely foreign experience for us. So the time came, the announcer said, please welcome to the stage, Emrys! And just silence. Like, oh God, no one's cheering for us. This is going to be terrible. So we all kind of, trudged on stage. Our feet lead, made out of lead. We could barely walk up there. It felt like it was 500 degrees. We were sweating bullets. We had no idea what was going to happen. So we strapped on our instruments. Drummer gave the count off 1, 2, 3, 4. And we rocked. We kicked ass. Everyone in the club was cheering for us by the end of the concert. Every song we played, faster, louder, better. It was natural. Muscle memory, everything was great. To this day, I've never felt the same sense of accomplishment as I had that day. The day I played my first concert. Played a lot of shows since then. Never the same feeling. After the concert was done, pulled out a box of cigars, lit one up, thought to myself, damn, that was the best day of my life.